What's going on, fellow truckers and CB enthusiasts? It is Jay Rich back again with another one, and today finally is the day where I present to you the Stryker power cord upgrade and 4700 microfarad capacitor upgrade. While we will be working on a Stryker 955 version 2, this upgrade kind of goes for anything using the 3-prong cord. Will this perform the same on every radio? Say if you have a Cobra or maybe a Connex or something else, you probably will not get the same numbers that you will on a Stryker, as every radio is different, power levels are different, things like that. Now, before we dive too deep into this video, if you would go on ahead and hit that subscribe right down there in the corner. It is very easy. As always, a thumbs up and a comment down below is much appreciated. It lets me know that you like this content, and I will keep producing more of it. Now, the power cord that you get with your brand new Stryker is going to be some crap like this, which is a very thin 14 gauge or maybe a 12 gauge wire. And this upgraded power cord is a high quality 10 gauge that is very nice and flexible, uses a silicone jacket. It's got about 9.5 million little wire strands in there, and it is a true 3-prong design where 2 comes and goes into 3. And I am also recommending this 4700 farad capacitor. And what this capacitor does is it does 2 things. One, it allows all the power coming in with this power cord, which is going to be significantly more than the cord that you get with Stryker. This right here acts like a dump valve, and it dumps all that power in when you key up, and it's going to hold it more to what's actually coming into the radio. When you key up, you're going to be able to utilize all that power that's coming into that radio. Is also a filter, and it helps to filter out the engine noise that comes through your power cord. Now, with that being said, you get the idea of what we're doing here. Now, I have to give a big shout out to Leo of Atlantic Coast Communications for letting us come in and invade his space and be able to put these videos together. Without him, these videos would not be possible, the past 2 videos and this current video. But listen to me.
This is important.
To get this power cord and the capacitor, you're going to call Big Rig Radio right down here in Phoenix, Arizona. There they make the power cords. They sell you the capacitor to go along with it. This may be an upgrade that you feel confident enough to do yourself, because you will have to go into the radio to do this upgrade. You can go to your local CB shop and have this done, or you can send your radio to Zane at Big Rig Radio in Phoenix, Arizona, and he'll do the upgrade for you. And for the purposes of this video, we are going to be back out at Atlantic Coast Communications in Atlanta, Georgia. If you are in the metro Atlanta area, they have 2 locations, one being Atlanta, I-285 exit 12 next to the Petro. They also have another location in Cartersville, Georgia, exit 296 in Cartersville, inside the TA. They also have a location in Wytheville, Virginia, inside the TA. I will put all the numbers down below in the description. You can give them a call if you need some work done from them.
This is also important.
On the Stryker 955 version 2 that we are using today, this radio is left completely stock. It did not go in, clip resistors, add the special resistor, go in through the menu and change any sort of tuning on this radio. We will take you through variations of testing using the stock cord, using the upgraded cord, adding the capacitor with the stock cord and the upgraded cord, and going inside the radio, tying the 2 power pins together so that you can get all of that power from the battery into the radio and it maintaining that power level. So without further ado, let's get after it. And now we have the stock power cord plugged in. We're reading 12.9 volts, 13 volts when we key up. And alright, so we have the upgraded power cord. We're at 14.2 volts. Then when we key up, we are at 13.2, and our wattage. So here's our old capacitor and our new capacitor, and now we're at 12.9. Now when our power output, and we're at 60 watts now on the stock power cord, so that's a 5-watt gain just by changing the capacitor and leaving the stock power cord. Okay, here now you see we have the stock power cord, and back there is the upgraded power cord. We are at 14.2 volts. Then we key up, we are at 13.3. Let's take a look at our power.
Oh, 65.
65. So we've gained what, 10?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah, about 10 watts.
If I'm doing my math right.
Yeah, you know.
And this is just with a part swap.
Right. We've made 0 adjustments to the radio. The only thing that we've done is gone ahead and swapped out a capacitor and put in a heavier gauge wire for the power cord. We haven't even gone any farther than that. We haven't even changed wires going to the board or anything. So even with the voltage drop that you receive going from the power cord through the power port, we're still getting about 10 watts out of it with 0 adjustment.
Or we'd be losing if we stayed stock.
Or we could be losing. It's one way or the other.
However, your glass is half full or half empty. Which is it, you know?
Right.
Okay, and also, so what have we done here as an additional part of this modification?
Well, we noticed that because he used a 3-wire plug, we went ahead and took the center pin that traditionally doesn't get used but is connected to the positive line. We went ahead and connected both the positive line and the center pin together through this short little jumper we made up, just to kind of increase the signal path or current path, if you will. So we'll go ahead and see if we can get a little bit better out of that.
Okay, so we're at 14.3 volts. Key down to 13.3. And now,
hello. Okay, so previously we were running it off of the terminals here as if you were doing that in your truck off the stock power line. Now what we have hooked up are the battery cables as if you were going down to the battery. So let's see what the difference is with that.
down to 14.2 when you key up. That's almost 1 full volt difference.
Hello. So
going from wiring inside the vehicle to the battery of the vehicle.
Right, changing that sort of power source from the actual power source has allowed us to get more current to the wire, or through the wire. You gotta remember that this is just a little 12 to 14 gauge wire, right?
Right.
And in the truck, it's really thin, crappy wire to begin with. If you run yourself a 10 to 8 gauge wire down to the battery, you're definitely going to increase your signals or your current path, and that will allow you to support a lot more wattage going through the radio. So
there you have it, from 55 watts to 80 watts with a capacitor, a power cord, and tying the pins in together and going to the battery, like you should do anyways. Like I said, if you want this power cord and the capacitor upgrade, call Big Rig Radio, Phoenix, Arizona. And if you're in the Atlanta area, need some CB work done, or the Wytheville, Virginia area, Atlantic Coast Communications is going to be your go-to. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. Go on ahead and check out a playlist and subscribe. I thank you guys for being here. I'm Jay Rich. You keep your knees in the breeze and the shiny side up. We'll be seeing you.